everybody. My name is Nate. Welcome, everybody, to an all-new episode of the Anination podcast. My name is Nate. Omid is on my right.
What is up, everyone? Hope you all are having a fantastic week. And boy, howdy, do we have a lot of animation content to share with you all tonight.
To say the least, it's just mostly, a lot of animation would be like a couple of topics. I don't know what it means by a lot of animation.
Okay, not a lot of animation topics, but a lot to talk about in terms of these couple of topics that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so if anything, we did have a thing to say right here on the episode. We are previewing the Children and Family Emmys, and by the way, there's a lot of categories to go through, so that's why most of the episode is going to be us talking about it. So,
oh yeah, it's going to be pretty much 70% of it is going to be Emmy related. So. Get yourselves ready for that.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. To say the least, we're kind of in a little bit impromptu, trying to get ourselves ready. Maybe some little jitters of like energy juice with me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And water.
I'm guessing just because it's busy today. I don't know.
It's been a busy day for me for sure, and it must be for you as well.
I don't know what's going on over at Meta, but we're starting to get busy with a lot of like new production stuff when it comes to like products that Meta's working in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So like get ready for more Meta products, maybe in 2024 or 2025, but they're really prepping it up before it gets released.
Yeah, it's must be busy. Yeah, I do wish you and the crew the best of luck.
I don't know about you and your end. How is it in your workplace?
Today was a pretty hectic day. It was pretty much a lot of tasks I had to do, a lot of clients that came in. So yeah, it was kind of a madhouse where I was.
Are you working? I know you're working with special needs people, but is it more like a clinic or a doctor's clinic?
It's a clinic. It's basically behavioral technicians working with kids with special needs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you've been special needs as well, I assume. Yeah, you have autism, if I remember.
A mild case of autism, yes.
So you kind of relate towards the folks that come into your clinic?
I do. I feel that, like with this clinic, with the company I'm working on, I feel like they have the potential to grow as people. And that's why I'm blessed to pretty much work. That's part of the reason why I'm blessed to work there. And also office job is kind of like my kind of work I do. So,
what was your graduate again?
I graduated with a Bachelor of the Arts degree.
How's that going out?
I feel the diploma is very useful for getting applied to this sort of job. So I feel that I feel it's helped me in terms of searching for a job.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like my degree hasn't really reached up to its potential because as an engineer, you would actually be working in behind the scenes when it comes to like codes and apps and stuff like that. But right now, I'm just usually a technician, and I'm not gonna lie, the technician job has been really paying off the bills. So I'm okay with what I have right now. I don't need to really care about going a little bit higher to say.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied where I am as well.
You ever think about like actually like bumping up in position though in your job, or are you thinking about just staying low like this?
I'm thinking of like maybe in the future, hopefully I get bumped up, hopefully I get promoted. But as of right now, I think I'm good where I am.
But I don't know. I'm guessing you're just tired just because today was just stressful. So maybe that's why I'm kind of like, sleepy or something.
It was stressful for both of us, yeah. But thankfully, we have this to sort of wind down, cool down.
Yeah. That's why we're just airing out our grievances. Anyways, how has your weekend been since the last time you visited?
My weekend has been pretty chill. I hung out with my friend in SF on Saturday, and then on Sunday, we're going to talk about Sunday, I watched a particularly important game.
Wait, what game was that?
Last weekend.
Wait, what? Oh, the football game, right?
Yep, the football game.
Okay, but that's not more towards your team. Your team is the Raiders, though.
Yeah, my team's the Raiders, but even if it wasn't, my number one favorite team, because my number one favorite team is in bye week, my second favorite team played a pretty significant football game in the afternoon against a particular favorite team of yours.
Yes, exactly. So that's why we'll have to discuss, especially when we talk about our NFL week, that is. But actually, what's kind of crazy is that this weekend, I ended up actually visiting a friend in San Francisco. We ended up having a fat day. I don't know if you heard about fat days before, but we ended up just splurging on pretty much like disgusting foods. I ended up like getting like one of my friend's skewers. My friend ended up making like was it Korean rice, which is really good. I bought Wingstop and brought it over to the party. So there's that. My friend brought up for pizza. There's also like desserts that are very sweet and things of that nature. So we ended up really stuffing ourselves, and yes, we did end up getting fat, and we had a chill time talking about like catching up and stuff.
Nice. So you ate to your heart's content.
Yes, there's that. Plus, other thing too is that these folks went to Japan, and I actually had to talk to them about how was your Japan trip this time around. And apparently, according to them, they said that everything's so much cheaper considering the yen is low. So when you buy stuff over there in Japan right now, you're gonna get like maybe 100 yen. Like let's say for example, you get like 100 yen onigiri. It'll be like 50 cents. Instead of $1.
Gosh.
Instead of $1 that we used to go to before.
Everything's getting cheaper in Japan.
It is getting cheaper in Japan because the yen is getting low. So to say the least, if you go to Japan now, it is a good time to go. I still am planning to go next year with these same folks, but the problem is like, will the yen go higher? Will it go lower? If it does go lower, that means it's so much cheaper, which means I can get a lot of anime goods back to me. Maybe I'll bring some stuff over to the studio.
Yeah, dude, your suitcase is gonna be full, man. Like you're probably gonna need a second suitcase for that.
That's what we did back in 2019. Remember, you went to Japan. Did you buy a lot of stuff too?
Yeah, 2019. I bought. I splurged myself back in our Japan trip in 2019. Yeah, it was a good time.
What did you remember What did you remember grabbing?
I remember I won the little darkness plush, the little thing.
How much did you? God damn it, I forgot. I forgot about that because I ended up getting a sake from Zombieland Saga, but that ended up like getting a lot of yen from us. That's not worth it. If you should have actually just bought it over at the Animate store.
Yeah, and I remember I also bought some stuff in Tokyo Disney Sea.
Oh yeah,
Tokyo Disney Sea has some high quality
was
stuff.
Was a bomb.
Tokyo Disney Sea was such a sick experience.
I wanted to go back to Tokyo Disneyland just because they are opening up Fantasy Springs next year. So they're going to have a Rapunzel Land, a Frozen Land, and a Peter Pan Land. So I'm like,
nice. So many lands.
I really want to go. So, I really hope this plan does come into fruition next fall. That I'll be going to Japan by then. That would be pretty sick to go to.
Cool. Yeah. Hopefully I get to go to Japan soon myself. So
yeah, for sure. You got to plan that up for yourself now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. And then also on Sunday, obviously we want to talk about the football game that happened. We actually did meet up before the big game happened. Our friend Robert, and you, we all hanged out over at B-Dubs. FYI, I didn't expect B-Dubs to be so low in audience when it comes to the morning games.
Yeah, but here's the thing. For a fact that due to a the morning games aren't good. They don't have as big of a rivalry when you look at the morning games as a particular afternoon game we're going to be talking about soon. The thing is with the morning games that they're pretty much a warm-up before you get to the actual game.
Yeah, but I remember in our pool of pick'em, Omit's out currently, unfortunately. But I'm still in it, and I was watching the Chargers hopefully win, and thankfully they did. But it's against my Patriots too, so it's my favorite team, my second favorite team versus my third favorite team, and I had to pick between both of them. I'm like,
yeah, it's he has his multiple teams. I have mine, so
yeah. So I ended up getting the win though for the Chargers, and good thing I did pick them because now the whole pool is look like I can go straight forward to actually winning the pool, depending on whoever picks who in the next upcoming games.
Yeah, I do wish you the best of luck in that. Yeah,
I am really hoping to get that big prize. Apparently, you and your brother are currently out now, so
yeah, and we were eliminated at the same time. That's pretty much the crazy thing. We were eliminated.
Washington was going to beat New York Giants.
Well, yeah, who didn't? Because the Giants do suck. So.
Yeah, they do. But then sometimes they can surprise you with what happened with your upset game.
Yeah, that's kind of the unfortunate thing about it is that no game is the chances of. The chances of a team winning, they're not 100 or 0.
Exactly, yeah. So it's really up in the air. Hopefully
it's up in the air. It's always up in the air.
Right. So yeah, I ended up winning my pool, thankfully. But then the big game happened where it's the 49ers against the Eagles. Omid, how did you become an Eagle fan? How did you become an Eagle fan again?
I've been very fond of the Eagles ever since the McNabb days. I remember my brother owned a Donovan McNabb jersey, and then I remember when I was younger, I pretty much looked at the McNabb jersey. I found it very appealing, and then I've watched some McNabb games. I'm thinking to myself, that man is a legend. And also I've seen like the team pretty much rising up to becoming like from, one of the not so great ones to, one of the, best teams in the NFL. So I like their, like underdog story, not underdog story, but it's more like, rising from, the rise to glory, the rise to victory. I like their journey.
They've had their ups and downs. Like McNabb was one of the ups, then they went to their downs. Now they're up with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. I found their comeback, their rise, like engaging.
Yeah, which is not bad. But the 49ers have been like on a low to the high rise right at the moment. Even seeing like how they've been trending with a lot of like NFC championship games that they've been attending.
I know. So, you almost even went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, twice. We could have beat the Rams. We could have beat the
Seahawks.
Eagles.
Not Eagles.
Eagles, yes.
Rams and Eagles.
Yeah, we could have beat the Rams 2 years ago. We could have beat the Eagles last year, but you injured our quarterback.
Yeah, and see, that's kind of the thing is that this is a difference between this game and the last. It's not just the fact of you guys won this year. It's the fact of how like Brock Purdy was in the game, and Brock Purdy proved to be a threat to Philly.
Yes, and I have a feeling like Philadelphia haven't changed. Like last year was the dominant team for sure. Like I think if Purdy was playing, I think Eagles would still made it to the Super Bowl. But this time around, knowing the Niners are just complete with like everybody, with like Purdy, with McCaffrey, with Deebo Samuel, especially those three playing really well during this game against the Eagles, you know that they're the best team right now in the football. So
yeah, well, one of, but yeah, we're gonna see how they fare in the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs is gonna be one thing, but the thing is, like, dude, that game already tells you, like, the Niners are not to be messed with.
Yeah, they're forced to be reckoned with. Like,
yeah.
Like if that's one thing you guys proved, you guys are forced to be reckoned with. And yeah, the Eagles had to learn this the hard way. You hit.
So the game actually was started like 6-0, and you were thinking like, oh my God, the Eagles are going to win, yeah! And then after that, the Niners started to rise and then dominate you, and this final score was 42-19. Yeah. So, wow, that was quite a game, guys. And yeah, I was thinking Eagles would keep it close, considering that it was just like, the same, like 7-6, then it was 14-6, 21-6, or something happened, I don't know. But the Eagles just ended up like not even catching up with the Niners, so the Niners ended up dominating over the Eagles. That kind of proves otherwise, that everybody in NFL is currently considering that the 49ers are the best team in the football right now. So let's go.
This wouldn't bother me so much if it was at least a close game. But no,
it was a blowout. It wasn't even close. It was a blowout. So
it was a blowout. That was what made the game not so engaging. It's just like, you guys could have at least had an engaging game.
Yeah, it wasn't. But I don't know what. The Eagles never answered back. I don't know. Tell your team. You're not even competing against the 49ers.
Let's just say that Jalen's last name is very fitting because, yeah, that one hurts. That hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
You went to a bar with a friend, and you were wearing your Eagles jersey. How was it over there when there's a lot of Niner fans there? It
was actually a bar with my mom and her boyfriend because our friend Robert had stuff to do himself. And yeah, when I went to O'Sullivan's, the bar, it was pretty much, as you expect, it was really packed. And I mean really packed. And 97% of them were Niner fans. And then the 3%, including myself, were rooting for the Eagles instead.
So how did it go when you were rooting for Eagles in that bar?
Let's just say that I felt like an outsider.
Yeah. So did a lot of people come to you and say like, Niners, right over your face?
They weren't too hard on me, but there were like some instances, like especially when the Eagles lost to the Niners and I left the bar. I remember there were like 3 Niner fans that were sitting on outside of the building, and they were like hooting and hollering like, "Fly, Eagles, fly!" And I was like kind of embarrassed. I wanted to walk away. It was just like, okay, whatever. You guys win. Congrats.
Yeah. This is what happens when you're wearing an enemy jersey in a freaking Niner bar.
I regret nothing.
Okay, sure.
I regret nothing.
It's like me wearing a Kings jersey over that same bar.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, you did.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
No, I'm saying it sarcastically. It's just like, oh, yeah, I remember now. You did. You were an outsider.
Yes, I was an outsider. It just feels the same way, except the King should have beat the Warriors during that playoff run.
Yeah, but look at the bright side. At least your team is in the in-season tournament, and
We lost. We lost the
and my team is
We're out. We lost recently.
You guys were out, but at least you guys were in the bracket. I, on the other hand, was not.
I'm just wondering. I'm just saying this. Well, how did you blow a lead like that?
I don't know, dude.
How do you blow a lead to the Clippers too?
That's unfortunately that's kind of the thing, is that the Warriors are not doing very well as of late. Like, they're not the same Warriors that we've seen in the previous 2 years. Like, the Warriors are somewhat sort of slipping. Hopefully they can make a comeback, but still though, we're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, I'm just hoping you end up like doing well, and hopefully Draymond Green doesn't become a toxic player to your team.
Draymond, why?
I don't know. I mean, me and Mark were talking about this. Draymond Green needs to go eventually, just because he's been like a parasite to the team.
Yeah, like he's done more harm than good. Let's just put it that way. He's done more harm than good.
Well, nonetheless, the Kings have a better record. Warriors are currently still in that play-in tournament. So I'm just saying, like, watch out for Sacramento.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, you guys still have your beam lit. You guys still have your beam lit.
Exactly, yes. But even though we lost recently, that's the other problem. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's all of us. That's pretty much our talk about sports. I know some of you guys don't care about that, but, you know, this is our little get-together so that we can actually talk more about our needs before we can talk about the animation needs.
Yeah, I mean, you've been hearing us talk about sports every week, so it's something you're going to have to get used to. It's something you should have already
they already get used to it. It's just that they have to bear through like 15, 20 minutes of the start of the banter. So no, but anyways, let's get things started and actually start the episode off. We're actually going to review the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. Now, this is going to be the final episodes of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee for 2023 before the final 2 episodes of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. So I'm just saying out here, Omid, this is the final episode before the final 2 episodes. Your feelings of a possible season 3, how is it looking for you?
You know, as time passes, the more time has passed, the more worrisome I get about the future of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, because they have yet to announce season 3. We still haven't seen an announcement of season 3. We've seen announcements of new seasons for Haley's on it, Kif, and, you know, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, and all that stuff. I'm just sitting there like, what about Ghost and Molly Mcgee?
Yeah, especially with the fact that, like, there's only 2 episodes left in the show. I really having my big doubts about if there's going to be a season 3. So, and I know a lot of fans are going to say, like, dude, give some hope, have some hope for a season 3. And I'm like, dude, I don't care anymore. I feel like, okay, I'm not going to lie, like, the fandom kind of ruined it for me.
Really? Like, okay, I can understand, like, you know, every show has its toxic side. I can understand that. I will say, like, the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, I don't think the fandom ruined it for me, but there were times where I was just like, y'all gotta chill out. Especially, like, the shipping side of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. Mm-hmm. Like most of the shipping side of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, yeah, it's kind of a cesspool when talking to them.
Yeah, if it happens, it happens. Let me just, you know, be okay with whatever the show is gonna go through, but I know that I'm really heavily favoring season 3. It's just that if it doesn't happen, that would be one thing that it'll suck. But at the same time, it will suck because the show would actually go down in a downward dip, to say.
I guess the best we could do is just, like, let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see that video of actually Bill's, like, final, like, season 2 wrap-up party?
I actually didn't see that video.
It's on YouTube, but he put up a speech, and there's no big announcement saying that there's a season 3 thing. He's just more thanking, like, people who are behind the staff doing all these kind of animation things. And that's how the whole video was. It's just a thank you with a bunch of people that also worked on the show.
Yeah, which isn't bad in of itself, of course.
But there's no big announcement of season 3. That's the thing.
Here's the thing. While a thank you message is, of course, very heartwarming, of course, you want to thank your cast and crew. But at the same time, though, if there's no season 3 announcement during that speech, then yeah, it's kind of not a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, we'll keep our hopes up, but it's really going lower and lower, the fact that we might not have a season 3 for the show.
Yeah, like I said before, it needed a season 3, but if it doesn't happen, then honestly, while it hurts, it's something we have to accept.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see. But let's do some episode reviews because we got 2 episodes of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee that came out. This is Christmas episodes, by the way. So let's, obviously, for the time of year that is Christmas time, let's go ahead and review these Ghost and Molly Mcgee Christmas episodes. Or actually, it's not a Christmas episode. It's a Christmas episode and a New Year's episode, which, never expect a New Year's episode out of all cartoons,
Which is a really good duo episode. It's a really good back-to-back episode when you consider the fact that it's not just Christmas episodes, it's holiday episodes, because you got We Wish You Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Ghost and Molly Mcgee.
There you go. So yeah, let's start off with the Christmas episode, which is the second Christmas episode that the Ghost and Molly Mcgee had, called White Christmas. Now this episode talks about Molly Mcgee having this happification project where she was going to pretty much help the seniors have a very special Christmas over at Brighton. But the problem is there's also a side story where Scratch couldn't find a present for Molly, and throughout the whole entire episode, Scratch tried to find a perfect present for Molly. So the episode begins with the McGees getting ready for this Christmas celebration with this whole happification project that Molly was talking about. So the purpose of this is to bring a winter wonderland to senior citizens. What are your thoughts on actually having Molly have this noble Christmas?
I would definitely say that it's definitely in character for Molly Mcgee to pretty much try to brighten up the spirits of the citizens of Brighton, especially senior citizens of Brighton. When they celebrated like so many Christmases already, as Scratch pointed out, Molly has this mindset of you still got to give them Christmas. It's that time of year, they deserve it. Let me tell you, like between this episode and the previous Christmas episode, I got to say Molly is a Christmas angel.
Yes, it is. And I mean, that last episode for the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, Saving Christmas? Yeah.
It was Saving Christmas.
Now, that one is more towards like I feel like a Christmas Carol, just because it was Scratch literally like bringing Andrea's dad to realize what the purpose of Christmas is all about,
It really does have that Christmas Carol vibe to it when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. So now they have another Christmas episode. This is more towards Molly's family trying to help out with helping and happify Brighton in some way. But of course, the side story is mostly on Scratch.
Yeah, it really is. It really does get into it gets into Scratch's more humane emotional side, where he feels bad about not giving Molly a proper gift, and so he tries to give Molly a proper gift, but he wants to see what that proper gift is.
Right, exactly. And so, we go through the scenes here. We get to see Scratch we get to see Molly talk about the happification project that she's talking about. He also wants to emphasize the fact that she wants snow to happen over at Brighton. So at the moment, when you see this whole chart here, that looks like it's going to be a possible chance of snow over in Brighton.
Yeah, 99% chance. That is a passing A grade.
Yeah, so that's things looking great so far. Yeah, and obviously snow is going to be the big factor here. I don't know much when it comes to these couple scenes here. I know that Daryl was looking for a present, and then also there's another side story in this episode where we also get to see, Sharon and Pete, they're really hiding the fact that they didn't give a present to each other.
Yeah, they're trying to hide. They made a promise to each other, because according to Sharon, spouses don't give each other gifts, but they suspect that the other is giving a gift for them.
Right, exactly. So, we get to see this part here where we get to see, Molly looks like she's giving a gift to Scratch, but the problem is, Scratch doesn't have a gift for Daryl. So when you saw this part here, what were your thoughts going through your mind here?
Like I said before, Scratch is not really the Christmassy kind of, ghost, as Molly is as much as Molly's a Christmas gal. So, Scratch is in a dilemma. He's pretty much feeling bad about not getting Molly a proper gift. And so this really does highlight the friendship between Scratch and Molly, is that, Molly has given so much to Scratch, Happy Donut, and for many holidays, Happy Donut Day, Happy Burger Day.
And I don't know what this day is, but apparently it's supposed to be
Happy Ghoulsome Day.
Ghoulsome Day, yeah, that's right.
She gave Scratch a statue of him. She gave him a statue of, the statue. You know what? Scratch, you should feel guilty. You should feel guilty. I would feel guilty too if I were Scratch, because she's given him so much and he feels like a taker. He doesn't feel like much of a giver. So he wants to be the giver and give back to Molly the way that Molly has been given so much to Scratch.
So the thing is that Well, I feel bad for Scratch in this case, considering that if he doesn't give a gift for Molly, considering Molly gives up so many amazing gifts like these, it makes you see that Scratch would be a bad guy and all. But the thing is, like, for a person who doesn't know how to give a gift, the issue is, like, what gift can actually satisfy Molly? Because there's so many gifts that Molly gave away, Scratch doesn't have an idea of, like, what to give for Molly at all. It comes to Christmas and everything.
And also, Molly loves many things. Like, she has a collection of many things. So pretty much, yeah, it is pretty. I can see how it could be hard for Scratch to find that one special gift for Molly, because what is the one thing that Molly does treasure the most?
I mean, it's kind of out there. Like, it's just everything, because he's just the very happiest person in the town. So
everything except magicians.
Oh, okay. Besides that, yeah, I don't know what's going on with her hate with magicians. We already went through that episode. Yeah. No, let's not go back to that, okay? We already had our beef about it.
No, see, we're talking about a much better episode right now, so.
Exactly, yeah. So let's keep it like that, okay? Just shut up. No, let's talk about magicians now, okay? All right, so obviously Scratch has a dilemma. Now, let's go back to Molly's Inhabification project, because it looks like everything looks great. They're going to the senior center, and it looks like they're prepping up for a winter wonderland for the seniors. But she's been looking at her phone, and it's not looking great, considering that that's not a good chance of snow, considering it was 99%, now it's 90%. It seems like it's still a passing grade. It's a possible chance that it would still be snowing.
It's an A+ to an A-. Like, let's put it that way. Like, yeah, there is less chance of snow happening as of right now in comparison to the beginning of the episode. But yeah, like going from 99 to 90, while not a drastic change, it is a bit of a waning sign. It's a warning sign.
So when I actually looked at this particular scene, it says like 99%. Okay, great. There's a good chance of snow. But when I saw this stat come up on Molly's phone, it kind of tells me like, okay, I know what you're trying to do here for this episode. They're not going to do it. It's not going to snow, huh?
Yeah, you just know for a fact that it's going to unfortunately keep decreasing more and more. Like, this is just, the very first warning sign.
This is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning of, like, no possible snow in Brighton, which will ruin the whole Inhabification project.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does seem to look that way. Let's just hope that it doesn't decrease even more. But yeah, let's just say that there is 100% chance that it will decrease.
Well, we'll see how it is, considering that it is starting to lower down when it comes to snow chances. Either way, let's move over to another side story that we already just brought up. Pete and Sharon, when they talked about their Christmas gifts. Apparently, from what we heard in the beginning, they were not going to give a Christmas gift, but behind their minds are thinking like maybe Pete will, maybe Sharon will. What are your thoughts on like this sort of like backlash between both of the parents here?
I don't recall there being a rule in which spouses don't give gifts. Yeah, they kind of do. I mean, spouses do have the choice.
I don't know what Pete was talking about when he kind of but then they made both a promise to not give a gift.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, spouses do have the choice of whether or not to give the gifts, but yeah, I'm just wondering, like, why Sharon and Pete don't give each other gifts. But however, it is amusing to see how Sharon and Pete, they are pretty sus of each other. They'd be like, "Ooh, maybe he did give me a gift. Maybe I should give him one too in return." It's like it's sort of like this exaggerated storyline of two people who are close to each other. They're like, "Hey, since we're close to each other, we don't have to give each other gifts per se." But then, again, that's pretty much up to whoever wants to give the gifts. But going back to Sharon and Pete here, it is pretty amusing to see Sharon and Pete. They're sort of like, sus of each other. And then Scratch gets caught in the middle of it when he tries to ask, well, what's the perfect gift to give to your daughter?
And yeah, they never gave him any suggestions when it comes to gifts. So he's pretty much like a third wheel when it comes to this situation.
He's the middle ghost, like middle man. He's just like, Scratch is like, why am I in the middle? Don't get me in the middle of all this.
Nonetheless, I mean, Pete and Sharon don't seem to actually look to be like sharing a gift eventually in Christmas. But who knows? Later on, we'll see in the end of the episode if they actually don't give each other a gift.
Maybe they will give each other gifts. Maybe they won't. And if they do, we'll be curious to see what it is.
Yeah. Well, again, Scratch doesn't have an answer of how to give Molly a gift, but he actually goes to his best friend Jeff to actually learn about what they can give for Molly.
But not before, like, Scratch gives Jeff a Christmas present, which is
Oh, come on.
A gumdrop.
Come on, dude. I mean, Scratch doesn't even have a gift for Jeff. Come on, he just literally has a gumdrop literally from the gingerbread house that he was in.
He has a gumdrop, but Jeff is still pleased by it. You can tell the expression on his face, but then again,
I think it's just easy to satisfy Jeff somehow. Maybe it's just because the whole best friendship that Jeff has in his mindset for Scratch. It's like he'll accept anything when it comes to Scratch.
Let's say Jeff is too easy to please. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, let's put it that way. Yeah, he's pretty simple like that. But I also do want to talk about this point here where we get to see Scratch somehow miss the point about actually knowing what everybody was saying. So like there's this part here where Molly was saying like I want this, but Scratch was just way too distracted about a bad burrito in this case.
Yeah.
And then it also pops up again where like Jeff was talking about a plan, and yet again he just wanders off thinking about something else. Do you do that sometimes? Are you familiar with this kind of like gag that happens in cartoons?
I mean, let's be honest. We've all had this moment. Like sometimes we do tend to, be in our own heads, like, pretty much hear ourselves instead of hearing others. So, I could see how, Scratch, let's just say that he did bring this upon himself by not actively listening, and that could be a big problem because of the fact of how he was so focused on like, oh, I shouldn't have microwaved this burrito. This burrito is all soggy.
Yeah.
Where, he could have had the perfect opportunity to hear Molly out, and if he had heard Molly out, then, well, I want to say we wouldn't have this episode, but we would solve this episode because, Molly's side of the story, but then again, Scratch wouldn't be in the situation.
It was pretty much his fault for not listening into his friends to actually care. Because, look, Jeff laid out a big plan, yet Scratch never listened, and he pretty much, like, got left out of it.
And I love the face palm, which is it's just like I have a feeling he's face palming himself.
Yes, he is, because he's kind of ashamed for himself for not listening to Jeff. He's your best friend, sir. Why are you not listening to him?
Molly's your best friend, too. You ain't listening to your two best friends.
I understand, like, he's obnoxious and stuff, but bruh, for a situation like this, maybe you could have listened so that maybe Molly could get a perfect Christmas present,
Yeah, instead of being too hyper-focused on burritos.
Exactly. It's him and hunger. I don't know what's going on with him and food.
Scratch, he is one gluttonous ghoul.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Anyways, back to this whole episode here. Back to Molly and her application project. Looks like everything is just going well. You get yourself a sleigh or a wheelchair full of Christmas decorations. The whole Winter Wonderland looks great. But what about the snow?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There's a reindeer also.
Oh, and also
apparently the reindeer's a llama.
Actually, no. There's actually a Christmas llama, and let me tell you, I am all for it.
I don't know. It looks cute, but it's not.
It looks so cute.
It's not Rudolph.
It's not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but hey, it could be some other animal. So I think that a white llama would do just fine, especially the fact that how the color white is one of the most representative Christmas colors, along with red. So.
Okay, yeah, that is true as well. Now the big issue was obviously the snow. We already saw it go down 90%, but this time around when we saw Molly's phone. It's getting a little bit lower now to 70%.
But at least it's a passing grade, right? C minus.
C.
Yeah, no, Molly's toast. Molly's toast.
This is not looking great for Winter Wonderland for the seniors. So
I mean, look at poor Frosty. Look at it. He's about to die. He's about to die.
He's about to melt. Oh no.
Yes.
But yeah, this is not looking great for Molly's Winter Wonderland because I think the big thing that she wanted was snow. If you saw from the beginning of the episode, she put up the snow thing.
Yeah.
If it doesn't snow, then it kind of ruins everything.
Yeah, because the point of Winter Wonderland is that, the number one thing you need in Winter Wonderland is snow.
Exactly, and if it doesn't snow, that kind of ruins everything. But yeah. So yeah, there's that issue. But let's go back to Sharon and Pete because again, it feels like they really are suspicious with each other, considering that in this scene here, looks like Sharon was actually stealing Pete's wallet.
Yeah, and she was trying to dig into his wallet and be like, what is he like? What is he like? What is he like? And then Pete almost catches her, and then she decides, oh, hey, Pete. It's like, I love that exchange. I just love that exchange. And then they look at each other. This is giving me Love is War vibes. Like, this is giving me Love is War vibes.
Yeah. It kind of does remind me of it, actually, just because both of them are, like, total political opposites or something.
Yeah. Like, I would imagine, like, this would be they're pretty much living a Kaguya-sama Love is War Christmas episode.
It kind of does look like it. So yeah, I feel for Sharon and Pete, knowing that they're both really suspicious of each other, that they're not gonna give a gift, or are they gonna give a gift? Who knows?
We will soon find out later on.
Yes.
But yeah, needless to say, they're like, you kind of sus. You kind of sus.
So we go back to Scratch and going back to Scratch and Jeff. They don't know what to give for Molly still, but Jeff does have a plan. Why not do it yourself?
Yeah, DIY in short.
Yes, do a do-it-yourself project for Molly, and maybe she might like it.
Yeah, so rather than trying to find a gift or buy a gift, they decide to make one. And thus comes a musical song along with a montage.
I know a lot of people are really liking this just because this is the first time we actually see Scratch and Jeff actually sing a duet. What are your thoughts on the song?
I think the song is quite catchy. Not the one of the strongest I've heard, but not the song. It is quite catchy and it blends well with Scratch and Jeff pretty much trying to make a gift. I think the montage itself is what is more memorable about it, more so than the song. And then you see Scratch and Jeff pretty much make arts and crafts. They try to bake. They try to pretty much use their hands as much as possible in order to create the perfect gift.
So yeah, this whole musical number was them just pretty much creating whatever they can with their do-it-yourself skills. And yeah, it's a really good, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a decent song. I actually enjoyed it. I think it's just more the fact that like we get to see Scratch and Jeff finally sing something, so it's cool. They actually work together, and in the end, they end up making a present for Molly, which
not exactly stellar, but A for effort, I guess.
Nonetheless, I don't think Molly would like this. So, do you think it's like too late for them to find a gift for Molly?
Yeah, time is ticking, and needless to say, Scratch is kind of running out of time, and Scratch sure as hell ain't gonna get Molly whatever the hell that is.
So at the moment when you get to see like this moment here, where like, okay, you're running out of time. Is it time for you to actually finally confess that you don't have a gift for Molly, which might lead to a disappointed Molly, a sad Molly, or maybe forgiving Molly? I mean, in Scratch's situation, it's pretty much said like, yeah, you screwed up. It's time to actually face your consequences and see what will happen if Molly's, doesn't get a gift.
Yeah, and you gotta love how Jeff was very supportive of Scratch here. This really does show, like, Scratch is the best. Like pretty much Scratch is lucky to have Jeff as the best bro he could ever have, because not only does he support him, not only does he help him, he doesn't even judge him. Like, I like how the fact that he's not judgmental of, Scratch's lack of gift for Molly. And, you can see, in his eyes, he's sympathetic towards Scratch.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what though? They are best friends, so I mean, I can feel for Jeff. Like Jeff feels for Scratch. Scratch definitely feels depressed. So I mean, Jeff can't do anything anymore. He's done his best when it comes to making a DIY thing for Molly, but it didn't work out in the end. So
Scratch did his due diligence.
Yeah, they did whatever they did whatever it takes to make sure Molly ends up getting a satisfying like end here when it comes to a good present. But again, nothing has come into fruition. So looks like Scratch needs to face the music.
Yeah, he feels defeated too. He feels defeated.
So let's go back to the Winter Wonderland, because Scratch obviously needs to admit that he doesn't have a present for Molly. Looks like this whole Winter Wonderland looks to be great. Looks like the decorations are up, the llama is ready for everybody to play with, and yeah, looks to be amazing. But remember we talked about before, the snow was the issue. It was from 90 to 70. And then hours later it became 20. Oh.
Okay, that is an F minus. That is just like, it's not even an F. It's not even an F. It's a super F.
Right, so it's not looking great. The snow is not going to fall. It made Molly angry. It's pretty much says like Molly's kind of frustrated about it.
Yeah.
To say the least, the snow is really not going to fall down, knowing the fact that when she checks her phone again, it's a -5, so it's like, okay, yeah. It's not gonna snow, guys.
It's burning fire. It's as if, like, summer has snuck up on winter.
Yeah. It feels like it's actually hot in Brighton, so there is no promise of snow. It's not gonna happen, which makes Molly cry, and I'm just like, oh no.
You gotta feel for poor Molly here. Molly did her absolute best. She worked hard in this, and then, the one key factor that would have made Winter Wonderland isn't coming. I do feel for Molly here. She did her absolute best, but in the end, it turns out that, the winter won't be so much of a wonderland.
It will not be, unfortunately. So, I guess it's time to face music for Molly in her case, where there is no snow. The seniors will be disappointed. doesn't look that great. That is until Scratch thought about something. And yeah, she thought about something, and what happened was that he ended up actually becoming Snow. So,
Yes.
your thought about this situation here?
Scratch sacrificed himself to save Christmas. Scratch's sacrifice will not be in vain. Well, not so much sacrifice, but more like freeze himself to death. Yeah.
He seemed alive throughout this episode, okay?
No, but like he flew up and away to the ends of the earth in order to freeze himself and then, puff up into millions of snowflakes just to give Molly the perfect, gift. What I love about this in particular is it's to show how, giving gifts doesn't have to be necessarily materialistic. It can also mean trying to help one with one's goals. It can mean pretty much trying to give out some sort of like miracle to them, like give them what they need. Not necessarily a materialistic item, but it's more along the lines of helping them in their desire, in their time of need.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, it cannot be just all materialistic stuff. So I do love the fact that Scratch ends up seeing like everybody being depressed. So what he would do as a Christmas present to become Snow, I think was a big thing that Scratch would do. So in the end, he ends up becoming Snow, and everybody's becoming satisfied. Molly's absolutely happy that snow is falling down. The whole Winter Wonderland is going to happen. And no doubt, there's a wholesome moment between Scratch and Molly. So,
look at that hug. Look at that big hug right there.
Oh, man. Yeah, no doubt. It was definitely a great Christmas present that Scratch has brought up. You were thinking that it was just going to be that paper mache thing that he made in the end. But no, this whole Christmas sacrifice that what Scratch has done pretty much was the present that Molly needed.
Yeah, definitely the present that both Molly needed and wanted, and Molly got it, and thus, thanks to Scratch, the Winter Wonderland could be a Winter Wonderland that Molly has always wanted. And let me tell you, I'm very proud of Scratch at this moment, because let me tell you, it was definitely you can argue that this is a better gift than all of Molly's gifts to Scratch combined, because this was something that she needed in order to help the town of Brighton.
Mm-hmm, indeed. So yeah, I mean, it definitely was an amazing way to end the episode, but it's not the end of the episode though. Remember that they're still celebrating Christmas.
Yes.
So the next day they did have a Christmas Christmas moment where we get to see Daryl apparently give gifts to Sharon, Pete, and Molly. And it turns out to be like something that they really needed, but we never actually got the answer to that.
Yeah, but we do know one thing, and that is through illegal means. And of course,
I don't know about that. I mean,
considering Daryl's character, it wouldn't be far-fetched to see that, the gifts aren't exactly the gifts they should be keeping. Because remember, at one point, Daryl said, if the ambassador finds out about this, which means it could be trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a good present for them. But nonetheless, I don't know what it is, but it is something valuable for all of them to have.
I think what they're trying to do here is that they're trying to leave it up to our interpretation. They're trying to leave us guessing what the gift could possibly be.
Yeah, exactly. But I just know it is something that would probably be like, how did you even get this, Daryl? But then again, Daryl does his own demanding schemes in order for him to actually give him presents, I guess. Let's go back to the other presents that also came around. So Pete actually did give a gift to Sharon, apparently a paint kit. By the way, if you don't know, Sharon is an artist, so it's actually cool to actually see Pete remember that Sharon's an artist. This is something that could actually help her out with her artist career to say, or artist hobby to say, but yeah, I think this is actually pretty sweet that Pete did this for her.
Yeah, it really does show how he knows her passion well, he knows her dream well, and this gift is definitely going to help Sharon in the long run of trying to pursue her dream of becoming an artist.
Yeah, and at the same time, you also get to see Sharon even give a gift to Pete. So to say the least, they did give a gift to each other, even though some suspicious things were happening. So I'm like, I had a feeling that they're both going to give a gift nonetheless.
Yeah, honestly, my money was on they're going to give a gift, no doubt about it. It's just like both of them had the urge to give each other gifts, even though they said they weren't. Deep down inside, they have the urge to. They want to show they care for each other, and thus they want to give Christmas gifts to show that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, so nonetheless, I mean, Pete and Sharon did get gifts in the end, and it turned out to be very satisfying for them. Although In Sharon's case, you had like many gifts to give Pete.
Which again leaves it. We can interpret. It can leave us guessing as to what though is under these two boxes. What is Sharon? What else does Sharon give to Pete?
A very cheap gift or a very expensive gift.
Yeah, that see. It leaves us guessing. What could be the expensive gift? What could be the cheap gift?
I don't know. I mean, like, I kind of did like Sharon's like way of thinking, like what gifts that she will give, considering like how much is it true? What does Pete will give me? If Pete gives me this, maybe something cheap for him, or maybe something else. Yeah, but if you actually didn't give a gift for Pete, then that would be a problem, obviously. But thankfully, Sharon knows about it, so yeah.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we do get to see what Molly gave for Scratch, and it turns out to be some sort of gift card. The Taco Tommy's gift card.
Taco Tommy's gift card.
And I remember that there was a reference to the Taco Tommy's gift card before, like literally when Scratch was trying to figure out like a gift for Molly, and he had a Taco Tommy's gift card.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be like what, $10 or less.
It turned out to be really, really cheap. Like I would say, like even costs like 85 cents or something like that.
Something like that. Well, yeah, it's not gonna help out for buying a meal at Taco Tommy's, but I love how like Molly knows about like Scratch's love for tacos, so he ends up buying like I guess the town's favorite like taco spot for Scratch, which obviously makes him so happy. You can see the tears in his eyes.
Look at that. He's so emotional. Look at that. He loves tacos. Like Molly knows what Scratch loves. Is like number one thing he loves. His favorite food ever, tacos.
Yeah. So they both have a satisfying ending. They both have a satisfying gift for Christmas, and no doubt about it, they did have an amazing Christmas together. So,
yes. Look at that warm, fuzzy McGee hug. Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's just absolutely wholesome.
And like it's a perfect ending, the perfect closing shot. But then it kind of cuts to this old guy riding the llama at the end.
Who cares about that? It's just more. I just care more for the wholesome part here. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this Christmas episode actually was a really nice Christmas episode. Yes, I kind of felt like it was going to go to a certain way where it actually we get to see in the end that something really amazing would happen, and it absolutely did, considering what Scratch did to at least give Molly a perfect Christmas present. You were thinking there's going to be a disaster, but Scratch becoming Scratch rescuing in the end was absolutely like wholesome, and in fact their Christmas is absolutely wholesome as well. So I actually think this is actually a really good Christmas special, knowing the fact that like throughout all the hardships that happen throughout the episode, when it comes to like trying to find a gift, trying to get all the plans worked out together, they do work out in the end, and in the end they all had an amazing Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I like about this episode is that both Molly's and Scratch's plots they're pretty much very engaging to watch because it centers around like both of them are trying to find both of them are trying to give gifts for Christmas, and in their own way they come up with they try to struggle with making sure that the recipient is fulfilled with the gift. And what I like about it is that both the plots intertwine in the end of the episode. They both intertwine, and they make for a satisfying conclusion where Scratch does end up giving the gift to Molly that she wanted, and Molly ends up giving the Brighton seniors the Winter Wonderland that she planned.
And altogether, to say the least, they ended up having an amazing Christmas. I have a question to ask. Do you think this was better than the other Christmas special that the Ghost and Molly Mcgee had?
I'm going to say that it's sort of a toss-up, but I would say that like when you look at the character arcs of Molly and Scratch in this episode, I would say that it is slightly better because of the fact of how it centers around both of them trying to be the gift giver of Christmas. Mm-hmm. They go through obstacles, trials, and tribulations. And then, like I said before, it comes to full circle when, like I said before, both of them get what they want to give on Christmas with, like I said, the plots intertwining.
I feel like this Christmas special is absolutely. I wouldn't say absolutely better, but it is slightly, like you said before, slightly better. I know that the first Christmas special that came out in season 1 for the Ghost and Molly Mcgee was more towards a Christmas Carol, knowing the fact that like Andrea's dad feels like a humbug, and obviously Andrea wanted to become that Christmas princess or something in a parade. Obviously, he's not satisfying to her daughter's needs, and in the end, after what Scratch has done to show that. Was it Andrea's dad that Andrea cares more about Christmas, and you're not giving her a perfect Christmas, ending up becoming like having having the family have an amazing, satisfying Christmas at the end. This is more towards Molly in this case for her Christmas wish and everything. So I feel like this is more towards the Molly Mcgee family in this case, and both Scratch and Molly were having an amazing Christmas together, with all the trials and tribulations that happened when it came to like trouble setting up an event to not getting a Christmas present, and then in the end actually being all satisfied in the end. I just feel like this was more towards like an amazing Christmas compared to the other one that was shown earlier.
Yeah, although the Fondrias would have a huge disagreement with us.
Fondrias.
The Fondrias would say, no, the other Christmas episode was better because there's Andrea in it, our girl.
Look, Fondria, stop. It cannot be all about Andrea, guys. Jeez.
I know. Like, it's the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, not the Ghost and Andrea Davenport.
Yeah, exactly. They have to go through that Andrea show that she made for that theme song takeover, okay? But yeah, I mean, very amazing Christmas special. Maybe one of my Christmas specials I'll probably be watching every Christmas now.
Oh yeah, it's already becoming a Christmas tradition to watch this particular episode.
Indeed, yeah. So yeah, Christmas, really good episode. Let's head over to the next episode that came out also on that same day called Perfect Day.
Yes.
The episode is pretty much Molly Mcgee trying to get herself a amazing New Year's Day. When an amazing New Year's Day happened, it leads to an amazing New Year. But a lot of things happen where her day gets ruined. But a curse that Scratch puts her into makes her restart every day to go back to New Year's Day to make sure it's satisfied. To say the least, it's just all problematic.
Yeah, so what happens is that it's pretty much Molly trying to make it a perfect New Year's Day because apparently like a bad New Year's Day ends up turning into a bad New Year's week and turns up to a bad month, a bad year. It's pretty much sort of similar to a superstition that most people try to come up with on the Friday the 13th.
That's not a Friday the 13th. It's a New Year's Day.
No, but like, you know, the way I see it is that like January 1st is somehow Molly's own version of Friday the 13th because she's kind of superstition where it's just like, if bad luck happens on this day, then it's going to be a snowball effect. It's like, the next day is going to be bad. It's like, which is not the case.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much how the episode is actually. Just her trying to see that this superstition will go through and that she'll actually end up having an amazing year.
Yeah, and which pretty much even Scratch points out how ridiculous it is. Like, I remember that one look that he gave Molly, which is like, are you serious?
Yeah, things like that. So yeah, so let's just go through the episode here. Yeah, it's New Year's Day. Molly is just absolutely joyous, and she wants to obviously set the tone for the new year so that she can actually get herself a very satisfying year. Yeah, she pretty much has her plan all set up. She pretty much have a perfect Molly Mcgee day. I really hate these slides, by the way. Go through run through the community here, and obviously hang out with family.
Community, family.
And friends, and in the end, we're all togetherness. I'm very sorry. I know that this is definitely all girly.
What I love about it is that, like, due to their different personalities, that's what I like about this friendship is that Molly and Scratch, due to their conflicting personalities, they work well off each other.
I don't know what's going on because, like, Molly, even in this look, it kind of tells you, like, are you cringing on this kind of? Just seems that satisfied about togetherness.
Yeah, like Molly's usually the happy-go-lucky girl, but this is taken to an extreme, like and you just want to ask her, "Are you okay, Molly?"
Yeah, same with like Scratch, for example. Like I love how Scratch was pretty much monotone throughout this whole episode. It's like superstitions. I don't know about superstitions. So yeah, so. You're thinking like she was going to have a perfect day. She had it all planned out that this New Year Day is going to be great, that it would lead to a tone of pretty much her having an amazing year. But the first thing that she did was step on a puddle.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
I don't understand that, by the way. Why stepping on a puddle is a bad sign.
It's a bad sign because, well, Molly, what she's trying to do is she's trying to make sure that, she has a perfect day and that absolutely nothing goes bad. Like, absolutely nothing. Like, she wants it to be, like, all good luck from beginning to end. And when she steps on the puddle, of course, like, Molly worries about how, when I step in the puddle, it's not going to be so perfect after all because there might be more bad stuff that happens to me. It's that sort of thing.
You know what? I think she's kind of overreacting. Oh, you step on a puddle. Is there an issue when it comes to stepping on a puddle? You could probably, like, change your shoes or something like that. Your day's still gonna become bright, But she keeps thinking that it's gonna ruin her year. I'm like, really?
Do you know how many days are in a year? 365. It's like, it's going to be a lot for 365 days to be perfect. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like this superstition that Molly was going through was like, what? No. Maybe you might be having a bad New Year's Day, but I'm like, you're gonna eventually have better days than just one day.
Seriously.
Yeah. I don't know about the whole superstition here, but nonetheless, she has this belief where, like, after stepping on a puddle, day's ruined, I'm going to have a bad year.
Yeah, it's like, gotta go back in time. Like, it's like,
lucky you said that, because one of the Ghost Council members actually did come to scratch just because it's a brand new year. He has to sign some paperwork and stuff like that. And apparently, he actually leaked out something that Molly should have not known. Apparently, Scratch has access to pretty much a lot of curses. And one of those curses is a time reversal curse.
We've seen how... Scratch's curses are nothing new. Remember the Fona episode? Yeah, it turns out that, like, Scratch's curses are very effective according to what we've seen, like, from the last episode we talked about last week as well.
Yeah.
It turns out that, like, Scratch has a few more rare curses up his sleeve, and this is another episode that shows it.
Now, I forgot to actually put up this point here. How do you like this reference?
Oh, dear Lord.
Did you remember what she said, though?
Show me the curses.
No. This part here, she said, "Is there a way to hit restart?" Just like the theme
song.
Is there a way to
hit restart? Scratch said that. I remember now. Scratch said, "Is there a way to hit restart?"
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Molly said it too in this particular scene here.
Comes full circle.
Yeah, I do love the fact that, like, they even put up the YouTube part here. Is there a way to hit restart at all? And then Scratch just literally halted her right there.
I guess, like, out of context, you could say, like, Scratch pretty much lowered her hand down to say, "Hey, that's my line."
No, but, like, I think she was also stopping that too, because I think, like, after he's saying the song so many times, you can't hit restart. So yeah, after that particular scene, yes, the council member did talk about the curses. Molly obviously was intrigued about the curses. And before he was even going to talk about more of the curses, Scratch literally just had to yeet him back into the ghost realm.
Yeah, it's like, I like how Scratch is like throwing him like, "You're said too much." You
said too much. Get back to the ghost realm. And you're thinking like, okay, everything's going to be all satisfied, right? No, it's not. It doesn't feel great.
Look at the look
it
in
doesn't
Molly's
feel great
eyes.
at all. Oh, no.
The devil eyes. Like, Molly is tempted to use the curse. It's like...
It's the first time I actually see her, like, with red eyes, too. So it's like, look into my eyes. No, she literally said the line, "Look into my eyes. And do this curse to me. Talk to me more about the curse and all."
See, this is what I like, is that, like there are times where Molly is scarier than Scratch, and Scratch is supposed to be a scary one because he's the ghost.
I was, like, really weirded out because, like, whenever I take these photos, I have to, like, go through every scene and make sure everything looks satisfying. And then this was like, I didn't literally, like, take this snap, literally put it on my desktop, and you see that picture for like 5 minutes while I have to wait for the next scene. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Yes, it's like, look at this. It's Devil Molly.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on, like, Molly absolutely being obsessed to reverse the day?
Yeah, when you look at this, like, you think to yourself, Molly will haunt your nightmares. But then, like, on a more serious note, though, yeah, she pretty much wants to do a reverse curse, like go back in time to make sure that everything is perfect and all. But here's the thing, though, is that there's only so much that you could do with this curse. Like, if you do it too much, it could end up in chaotic results.
Yeah, well, I mean, pretty much Scratch explained it, where you gotta go every day. You go back a lot of days until the day is perfect. But nonetheless, Molly is definitely determined to make sure that day's perfect for some reason. So yeah, the curse happened. Scratch gave the curse on Molly, and they pretty much reversed the day. And things still continue to be problematic for Molly.
Oh yeah, like I said before, if if this misfortune didn't happen in that time loop, then the next another misfortune will happen.
Yeah. So I didn't take pictures of like what happened when after the curse, but she did reverse the day. She did end up going back into that pothole. Did end up getting more disastrous, considering that there was literally a person in a car literally driving by, and the pothole pretty much sprayed them both with water.
Yeah, which caused them to drip all over and have their emotional faces like this. It's like,
all right, so they have to reverse the day again. This time around, they're going to walk on a different path and actually to see this community where they have to play hockey. But if you remember correctly, Molly's not a great skater to say.
Yeah, I can relate too, because I'm not a good skater either, so I definitely understand what Molly's going through. But going back to this episode here, this really does show how, first off, I love how the Brighton community pretty much host their own hockey team. And then of course, since Molly can't skate, she wants to say no, but then one of them says, "Don't you dare crush my dreams, just gonna join." So she was forced to join.
Molly needs to join the team, considering that the community was all together with her, but it ends up becoming a disaster, knowing that Molly cannot skate and cannot play hockey at all.
Let's just say that Molly's slipping on the this skating rink ended up having her bump into the whole team.
Yeah, and in the end, it turned out to be a disaster to actually work with the community there. So this time around, again, she reverses the day, and this time she wants to focus more on family. So we get to see Daryl, Sharon, and Pete all hanging out for breakfast, I guess. I'm just putting this out just because this one scene in particular was like, breakfast, cool. And look what Daryl was holding. Apparently this pancake machine.
It's a pancake machine which is discontinued.
Wonder why.
Yeah. It turns out to be an eventful breakfast for scenes we're going to talk about right now.
Yeah, so, look. I mean, if anything, it was doing its job, giving Molly some pancakes, but it turned out to give out more pancakes than expected, and you have to realize that this doesn't have an off button, so this whole pancake machine was continuing to just give out pancakes everywhere, which means the day is ruined again for Molly.
Yeah, it was totally malfunctioned. Since it kept, flying out, spitting out flying pancakes. You might as well call them flying flapjacks.
So I'm going to say this, though. What is happening through each of the days that she continues to reverse? Because I understand, she wants to reverse every day to make sure every day is perfect. Yet, it's continuing to get worse and worse. The community part is not working. The family part's not working. What are your thoughts about her about this whole, idea of just, the day getting worse, considering that she just keeps on looping back to, the beginning of the day and everything?
Yeah, it's like I said before, and it's what Scratch warned Molly about before. Of course, through Scratch saying to Molly that he has watched movies where this sort of thing does happen, where there's so much that you could do with this curse, and no matter how many times you go back, you can't just expect there to be a perfect day from beginning to end. That's not how, days usually work. There's always going to be a mishap. There's always going to be a misfortune that happens in a day because, a day consists of many, many hours.
Right, exactly. And, Molly is not even learning that, by the way. She continues to say, this is bad, let's reverse it. This is bad, let's reverse it. So she continues to do it every time. The whole day is not even done, and yet she continues to reverse it every time. A community hockey game turned out to be a disaster. This thing turned out to be a disaster. Even her friend, even hanging out with her friends, for example, that turned out to be a disaster.
No! Rip Lebby's bookstore.
I don't know what happened. I was so sad when I saw this. I'm like, Lebby, no! How did you put a fire in your freaking library?
Chat, press F for respect for Libby and her bookstore. Press F for respect.
Oh my god, no! I was just looking at this scene. I'm like, how did this happen?
I know. Even Libby's trying to wonder herself. It's like, how did this bookstore lit on fire?
I don't know. I really don't know what happened yet. This whole thing was just absolutely crazy.
It's just even with the friends part, it's already bad enough that she can't get a perfect day with community and family. She can't even have a decent day. She can't even have a good day with friends, her best friend Libby.
Yeah. even like I just feel for bad for Libby in this case. So to say at least, every situation that Molly's trying to reverse has not been working out for her. It's always ending up with a disaster, whether it be like Libby's bookstore being burnt, a bad disastrous breakfast, or a community that just ends up like becoming a disaster for her. Things are not looking great, to say.
Insert Fahrenheit 451 joke here.
Nothing's great after all. So now we go to this whole music montage where we get to see Molly and Scratch go through all the scenarios that happen. This is the song called Hit Restart. What are your thoughts on this montage of Molly continuing to reverse the day and continue to get worse and worse?
You gotta feel bad for poor Molly, but at the same time, though, you gotta teach yourself, Molly, haven't you already, reversed time enough? You're pushing. It's like she's going back and reversing time as if she's continuously pushing the rewind button on the remote. Like, it's really like, and no matter what happens, she's always gonna have misfortune, whether it be a bump on her head, whether it be stubbing her toe, whether it be a baby crying, his eyes out. And Molly even has a bug on her eye. She even has a bug
I
on her eye.
remember that, yeah. An eye being, a bug in her eye, her trying to learn how to ice skate, yet she continues to, like, fall on that. Her going to jail. Don't know what happened there.
Molly's a criminal.
I don't know what happened there.
Molly's a criminal now. Wonder what she did.
She actually had Daryl die.
Daryl, ghost Daryl. Let's go. Okay.
No, this literally is a death. Daryl died in this particular scene.
You killed your brother, Molly. Hope you're happy. But, by the way, on the plus side, though, the best thing about this montage is, like I said, we get Ghost Daryl. We see what Ghost Daryl looks like because
he'll be permanently Ghost Daryl though.
we got Ghost Molly in the season 1 finale. We got Ghost Daryl here. Like, I want to see more ghost versions of human characters.
Well, we did have a Ghost Daryl earlier in the season, if you remember. We did have Daryl become a wraith as well.
Actually, yeah, that is true. From what I heard,
this is not the same. We have the same situation where Daryl did end up becoming a ghost. So yes, but this in particular situation, she literally is dead. So it's like, Molly, what did you do to actually kill Daryl? I'm just wondering how that happened. Was it a mishap with the machine? Maybe I don't know.
Or maybe Daryl cooked up a scheme that is pretty much life-threatening. It was so life-threatening, it cost him his life, and Molly somehow got roped into it.
Yeah, okay, well, good thing that she reversed that. She's pretty much going through a continuous loop of pretty much like reversing the days every day, continues to just get worse and worse when it comes to like her New Year's Day. And I don't know about this particular moment here, but it feels like they were just learning something from a movie.
And a movie called Time Loop Rope Pen. It's a movie that Scratch mentioned to Molly.
Yeah, so I think it's like more of like Molly to learn like, hey, maybe you should watch this before you actually ended up like continuing to reverse time and everything. So yeah, she continues to reverse time. She ends up getting hurt for some reason. I think from the ice skating rink again.
The Ghost and Molly Mcgee.
Oh my god. She also did let go of animals in one scene, to say the least. It's not looking good for Molly. No, not looking good for Molly.
Well, yeah, no kidding. Look how stressed she is. Look how tired she is. Look how much faith and hope that she has lost. Like, look at that. She looks defeated. She looks like.
I think this is like the worst time I've actually seen Molly defeated ever. Like, you always see her just so happy, like she'll never give up. I think this is a kind of a situation where she did give up. I mean, how many days did you actually reverse, Molly? It looks like hundreds of days that you had to reverse for New Year's Day.
Well, yeah. Look how tired she looks. Like, she looks so tired. Like, her eyes pop out, and then you see the shadows like around her eyes. Yeah. She looks like she's definitely looped around so many times you pretty much lost count.
So the thing here is like, okay, look, you looped around for days. Can you at least fix it now? So like. They go about their day. They're gonna go to fix the community or deal with friends or deal with family, whatever. But again, she lands in the puddle again.
Again, looking defeated. Like, she's pretty much lost all hope. So of course, Molly and Scratch sit in the puddle together, looking so defeated.
Yeah, she ends up just being defeated, and Scratch is pretty much with her. That is until something happened after this scene here, where apparently just because she just sits down on the pothole, news people come by and saying like, hey, looks like you're sitting down for a protest. Ooh. What are your thoughts about her just finally starting to live it up to what do you feel about her, like her day living up, considering like this is going on?
Yeah, I will say, like, while this kind of came out of nowhere, I think it's to help show about how it's trying to present a lesson in that, like, when you don't force a day to become perfect, somehow, like, that particular day finds a way to bring you good luck. Like, I think it's along the lines of you just kind of like wait and see sort of thing. Don't try to force it or anything. And then one day the good luck will come back to you.
So this is when Molly's day starts to liven up. You get to see the newscast come by. She now becomes Pothole Girl because
Pothole Girl.
She's
Pothole
protesting.
Girl. Let's go.
But then again, the news pretty much spread it around all of Brighton that Libby actually joined in. That was actually pretty cute, actually. That Libby joins into the pothole.
A cute Libby moment.
Her family also came by to raise money to get to actually fix the potholes. And it actually did bring up like the whole community. They even have a huge thank you to the.
They even have a banner. They have a banner saying "Pothole."
So how do you feel about like her day now getting better, knowing that the community is all together, her family's together, her friends are together to pretty much fight for a cause of a pothole?
I love it so much because it's a whole community coming together to pretty much make the day perfect for Molly. It's sort of like it's sort of like a debt repaid. Not debt repaid, but it's more like it comes full circle because in the previous episode, Molly succeeded in giving a, perfect gift to Brighton. It's pretty much Brighton's job in return now, even though it's not aware. It was sort of Brighton's way to return the favor and give back to Molly.
Indeed, yeah. And I just love the fact that, like, after just settling down for just one day of, like, one ruined moment that happened over at a pothole, you end up actually having a perfect day at the end. I'm like, Molly, this would have been better if you just not do the reverse at all.
Exactly. Like I said, like, if you didn't do the reverse, things would have gone your way,
Right, exactly. So, like, this whole episode is, like, all reversal. It's like, dude, you're just hurting yourself with this, Molly. I guess you had to learn the hard way. Like, you don't need to do it because in the end, you do end up having something that is more satisfying of a, perfect day, to start off the new year and all.
Yeah. Like eventually, the day will brighten you up instead of you forcing the day to brighten the day up for you.
Yeah. So, yeah, they end up raising a lot of money to actually fix the potholes and a lot of other potholes in the town. To say the least, Molly did end up having a perfect day.
Yes. It was the perfect day all along. And then I love how Scratch looks annoyed and then he's like, sometimes it makes it hard for me to like you.
Exactly. And then the next day that happened is January 2nd, by the way.
Your birthday.
Yes, it's my birthday.
By the way, happy birthday, Nate. According to what we're seeing in the Molly Mcgee episode, it's to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah, I just love the fact that like Molly did say January 2nd. I'm like, dude, that's my birthday.
Yes.
Oh my God, January 2nd. Hey.
Look at Molly's excited to celebrate your day, man.
I guess so. But nonetheless, the curse is over. Looks like they continued on with their day. Everything is perfect from New Year's Day. January 2nd happened. And I do love the fact that like Scratch comes up and says like, this is a waffle, not a pancake. Yay.
Yes. It's something different for breakfast. Yes.
It's changed. Yes. And then, so that pretty much ends the episode. That is until Molly talked about having more curses. I'm like, oh, God.
Did you learn nothing from the previous two? Because this isn't the first, but this is sort of like the second time that you've asked for a curse. Yeah, like first you asked for no fear, then you asked for a reverse curse. What more chaos can you bestow upon yourself by asking Scratch for these curses? We'll find out in a future episode. Wink, wink.
We'll see. 2 episodes left till the end of Most of Molly Mcgee, so, All right, but yeah, let's review this episode. Okay, it's okay of an episode. I mean, if anything, it does teach Molly about, hey, you're not gonna have a perfect day, so don't really need to reverse it all the time. Your perfect day will happen. Yes, you might have some setbacks here and there, but you will have a perfect day. Hence, what happened after you stepped on that puddle.
Yeah, it's just like, let your day go by. Like, let your day go by.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I feel like there's no need for all these reverses. Why would you continue moving on with curses? And I don't know what, but I feel like that is important when it comes to the show. These curses, these hidden curses that Scratch has, a possession with and everything. because he has the time reverse curse, and he also did have the
Fearless curse.
Fearless curse, yes.
Yeah, and another reason why we need a season 3 is because we want to see what more curses Scratch has up his sleeve. What more possible curses could Molly beg for?
Exactly, and the thing is, like, again, it's an endless list of curses. Maybe there's gotta be more things that could pop up that could help the curses, like that can pretty much help give like Molly a lesson about like curses and help Scratch when it comes to those curses as well. They could be helpful for them, but in the end, they could also hurt them in the end. Like what happened with the Fearless episode, what happened in the the Time Reverse episode. And it kind of sucks considering that we only have 2 episodes left till the end of season 2. There's a lot more curses to do, but why is there not an emphasis on that?
But there's still like a limited amount of episodes that are in season 2 so far, like after this. So the thing is, with the limited amount of episodes they have, you have to wonder what they're going to do next with the characters and also what more curses they're going to bring upon. But unfortunately, since we're almost at the near end of season 2, then honestly, we might even wonder if this is going to be the last curse of the series.
I have no idea. But yes, it's okay of an episode. I thought it was all right. What are your thoughts on this episode?
I will say, it's pretty all right of an episode. I do say like it's really interesting how they do this reverse time, like time travel episode, but then they do it in their own way where it's pretty much Molly trying to create a perfect day, but then the more you reverse time, the more exhausted you become. Like, it's one of those things where she thinks that the reverse curse would be beneficial, but the way she used it actually made it worse.
Yeah, so in the end, like, you really don't need to actually do all of that. I think the lesson here is more like, let your day continue on. You don't need to have a quote-unquote perfect day in order for you to actually have that perfect day. If things go awry, let it play on, and you might have a perfect day in the end.
Yeah, the community day part, the one with the Brian community gathers around Molly, peak moment of that episode.
Yeah.
The Ghost and Pothole Girl.
Yeah, it's pretty much Pothole Girl as well. But yes, no doubt, really good episode. So, okay of an episode. I'm sorry, they didn't say mean okay, pretty good, but yeah. We don't have any new episodes for the Ghost and Molly Mcgee until 2024. And again, these are the final 2 episodes of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, unless we do have a season 3 announcement. So again, we've already said this before. If there's no season 3, this could end up becoming one of the most disappointing shows, depending on how it ends also.
Yeah, because with 2 seasons and the way Molly Mcgee is, like 2 seasons is undercooked. It's undercooked.
Indeed, yes. So we just hope, like in the writer's room or whatever Disney is doing, let's have a season 3 of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, because if it's not, we are not looking great for what's going to happen for the Ghost and Molly Mcgee.
So yeah, manifest for Ghost and Molly Mcgee season 3.
Oh yeah. I do want to talk about a certain new series that is coming out on Netflix. This is called Carol and the End of the World. The trailer did come out this week. The trailer talks about this one girl named Carol who pretty much pretty much doesn't know what to do, considering that it is going to be the end of the world. Everybody's pretty much satisfied of what they're going to be doing for the end of the world. Like, they're ending work, they're doing vacation stuff, they're doing anything that they can to have fun. But Carol, on the other hand, doesn't know what to do. So that's pretty much how the whole series is. Yes, this is going to be a short series, 10 episodes long, but the idea of this show and the whole way of this show being animated kind of like makes us think about how great this show might be. Omid, you brought this topic up for today's episode. I was wondering what made you want to talk about this today.
What made me want to talk about the episode, the miniseries as a whole, is when I looked at the trailer, I saw how deep it was, and I saw how it deals with themes of existential crisis, and especially since let's be honest. As adults, we have all felt what Carol was feeling. We put ourselves in Carol's shoes. In that, like in our age, especially in our 30s and 40s, we're dealing with some sort of like midlife crisis or something like that, where we feel like we could have achieved more than we already did, or we could have done something more. And so, like, in goes Carol, and she's pretty much feeling like, she's pretty feeling down in the dumps, not knowing what to do with her life. She's pretty much, she feels like she could do more. But here's a twist in that story. It's actually an end of the world story.
So, so I actually saw the trailer. The first thing that comes to mind is the character design. I'm not gonna lie, the character design looks interesting. It's not really the best kind of like character design at all. It kind of feels sort of like, I'm trying to look back at like what kind of like characters Carol and the rest of the characters remind me of, because it feels sort of like Rick and Morty. But then again, the person who made this show also did make Rick and Morty.
Well, not make Rick and Morty, but the person who created the show was involved with writing a few Rick and Morty episodes. But I feel like even this animation is distinct from the Rick and Morty animation. I think that's the beauty of this cartoon, is that it has its own distinct looking animation, making it unique.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that kind of points out to it. I know it's like a 2D animation sort of like cartoon, but I feel like it's kind of related towards adults, knowing the fact that like this is like in a situation where adults are like trying to have as much fun as they can before the end of the world happens. Like you get to see like in that trailer, like Carol just like has nothing. It's weird because like she has nothing to do. She's with her parents throughout the whole like trailer, and it feels like she's hopeless or something. Until she meets up with that group that apparently can help her out when it comes to actually getting a life before the end of the life happens,
Yeah, I think that's what makes the journey so interesting, is that it's like this interior conflict that she feels within herself. How she feels unfulfilled, and like she wants more, especially from the end of the world. Because keep in mind, they're all going to die really soon. Like, it's going to take about like 7 months before the Earth pretty much, goes kaboom or explodes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a moon pretty much go to Earth. I'm assuming that the Earth is just, the moon is just pretty much like being engulfed with the gravitational pull of the Earth. That's the reason why they're about to, not have an Earth anymore. But, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I know this is just a small series, but there's the possibilities of like what Carol will do. Well, but before the end of the world happens, kind of like blows your mind, kind of thinks like, what can she do? She's on her motorcycle. She's like going to the beach a lot. She's making friends. That might make sense why you could do that for the end of the world. Like when you first saw her in the trailer, you're thinking like she might be alone. She's not gonna do anything for like the rest of the show. But when she met up with that group and they end up like all coming together to have like a very fun time before the end of the world happens, it kind of gives hope for Carol. And I like the fact that there's going to be a big storyline of how Carol can actually live the best life that she can before the end of the world happens.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, is that unfortunately for Carol, she doesn't have a lot of time to live anyway. Like keep in mind, none of them are going to live for very long. They're all going to die.
I have a feeling like at that last episode, the Earth gets destroyed, okay? Or else there's no point in the end of the world.
Well, I think that's why they're going to do like a mini series of it, because with that limited amount of time left, when they make a mini series, it's going to feel like, as you're watching it, like you feel like, it's suitable for a mini series because they're pretty much living their mini lives at that point.
They're living there as much as they can, knowing that they have 7 months to live. I mean, you gotta do whatever it takes to make sure that your life ends up worthwhile. So let's actually look deep more into it. What are your thoughts on what Carol will do? What you saw in the trailer?
I think from what we've seen in this trailer, we've seen many quick scenes of the trailer of Carol going through life. She pretty much hikes in the mountains saying like, I am Carol Cole. Mm-hmm. She hangs out with a group that will help her out, like you said, and she even dates. Like if you look closely, like she even has a date.
Mm-hmm. Is it like with a girl too? So it's like she's lesbian. LGBT representation?
No, it's more like you see a dinner scene with her and another guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that part, but I remember remember like there's a girl that said like I love you, Carol, and then they hug or something.
Like there's this one dude, this is one guy who wears a Hawaiian style shirt and a blonde guy. I have a feeling that he is going to play a significant part in Carol's life, whether it be, her, boyfriend or even her bestie. Like it doesn't have to be like romantic relationship. It could be platonic friendship as well.
Yeah. Well, look, the entire group have pretty much said Carol's name. So I have a feeling like Carol made a huge friendship for everybody there. Even though she was like questionable about joining that group that she joined in, it is going to happen that everybody's going to love her. So like she'll do the best that she can to at least have that moment with her. I don't know if there's going to be like some dramatic scenes that will happen, maybe like lose a friendship or lose a relationship or things of that nature. It would be great to actually see that. But I mean, still, like, there's a lot of puzzles that are in there to say like, hey, you have only 7 months to live. What are you going to do? And I don't know if the dramatic tension can happen, but there is a possible chance that could be there, which can also help us like get us more glued into the show.
Yeah, I've heard many people like compare this to say BoJack Horseman, for example.
I don't know if it is,
and I don't know if I would make that comparison. I mean,
I never heard of these comparisons, to be fair.
Yeah, look at the YouTube comments of the trailer. You can see people say, "Oh, it's gonna go deep like BoJack Horseman" and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, I can see where they're going with this, but here's the thing, though. They are both similar in that they do go deep. Like, they don't sugarcoat it or anything like that. They put the emphasis on adult animation. But I think that the major difference between both of them is, the different themes and how they handle their themes.
Exactly.
Because
I don't know how.
And you're comparing a miniseries to a legit full-on fledged series that ran for like 6 seasons. It's not a fair comparison if you ask me.
No, exactly. And how do you have 10 episodes for this miniseries? You're not going to have much to discuss when it comes to actually knowing what's going to happen in the end of the world and all. So, to say the least, this new series, Carol in the End of the World, is going to happen actually next week. It premieres December 15th on Netflix. And if you are definitely down to see how this show will go, I think all episodes will be available on December 15th. So go ahead and check it out. I mean, definitely is going to be checking it out.
Yes, so, I'm so hyped for this.
Yeah,
let's go.
I'll put that on my list. Hopefully I can watch it before the end of the year. Before the end of the world.
Exactly. We should go at Nathan O'Mead and the end of the year.
Oh, God. We'll see how it goes. But this looks promising. And for those who are thinking about watching it, go ahead and check it out. This will come out December 15th on Netflix. So check it out.
Don't miss out.
So yes, it is time to talk about the Children's and Family Emmys. Now, this is the second time they're doing it this year. Last year they did it as well. This time around, it's going to be, I think pretty much the same. Like, you have the categories come out about when it comes to preschool shows, kids shows, teenage shows, and even young adult shows. So, to say the least, how do you like the idea for the Emmys to do this kind of thing? Because, like, when you look at the daytime and primetime Emmys, none of that occurs at all.
I do see where they're going with this, like the Children and Family Emmys, and I will say, like, there are some legit categories. However, I do feel that there are some that are less significant than others.
I mean, here's the thing, like, there are some significant shows that got nominated when it comes to, like, everything. Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Disney Plus, Netflix, and a bunch of stuff. That it makes you kind of wonder, like, look, they are doing their best to at least get all those nominations in. And to be fair, all of them look legit. And this makes me kind of happy about, like, because, we're talking about animation here and there, but we also do have to talk about, like, shows that we also watch that are also in Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon,
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm saying, like, this kind of like award show is definitely beneficial for, like, everybody who's kind of into this kind of genre. Like, obviously young teens, children, like, even those that work in that kind of field, they definitely would love to have their own show compared to, like, waiting in the daytime Emmys to actually have their show, like, featured in the award show.
Yeah, that's why I think it's beneficial for this to happen because, usually like the main Emmys, the primetime Emmys and all that stuff, like the main Emmys pretty much have your, drama shows. They have the TV14 TVMA shows, like pretty much the popular shows according to like mainstream media. But with this particular category, however, it's a category that is pretty much dedicated to all things animation and all things kids oriented.
I think it's just more towards kids oriented for sure. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely beneficial for them, especially for us that literally just watch for the cartoons and anime and things like that. So it's awesome to actually have like our moment to actually see that, because like when it comes to like the daytime and primetime movies, we don't care about like talk shows or game shows or soap operas, that happen in the daytime. We don't care about primetime shows. We kind of do care about, like, I watched Kitchen Nightmares, a reality show, cool. Even like last week tonight with John Oliver, that has been winning the variety series for such a long time.
well deserving of it.
Yes, but there's no significant like thing when it comes to actually showcasing like animation, when it comes to showcasing like other variety shows that feature that are pretty much in the field of like preschoolers to young teens and all.
Yeah, so pretty much what you see here is mainly preschool shows, kids shows, teen shows. They're pretty much shows that were made for like a younger demographic.
Exactly. So what we're going to be doing for the rest of the show is actually putting up all the categories. And this time around, okay, so I want to do this, Omid. Let's actually play a game here. We're going to go through each category. We make a pick. And then at the end of the show that's going to happen on Saturday, hosted by Jack McBrayer and Jojo Siwa, by the way, we get to see, next week we're going to go through all the results. Whoever wins, I'll give a beer out right here in the middle so you can drink it throughout the show. Okay? Are you down for that?
Challenge accepted.
Okay, so he says so. All right, so first off, choreography. Now the candidates are pretty much there. Big City Adventure, which is pretty much Blue's Clues in the New York City. You got Bunked. You got Snow Day, which is the remake of Snow Day from that one movie from what was it with Josh Peck in it.
I remember that movie. I've seen it when I was a kid.
Yeah. High School Musical, the musical, the series, and Monster High, the movie. So these are all live action shows. I don't know if you watched any of them, but what are your thoughts on who do you think will win the choreography?
I definitely will say I've seen season 1 of High School Musical, the series, and I will say the choreography in that is very stellar. Like they really do nail the dancing of each musical number and such like that. The choreographer did a really good fantastic job with having the kids dance around in that series.
All right, so Omid is picking up High School Musical. It's a really good choice to pick, because High School Musical definitely is an amazing series to watch, and plus the movie series is amazing too. You know what? I'm gonna actually win your side as well. So High School Musical as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, High School Musical, the musical. One of the main elements of a musical is the choreography, so it's bound to win it.
All right. Next up, it's called Stunt Coordination for a Live Action Program. Now, your categories are Danger Force from Nickelodeon, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. By the way, that was also nominated. I don't know why you didn't pick that out. Loud House fans will know this. The Really Loud House got nominated. Sweet Tooth on Netflix, Ultraviolet, and Black Scorpion, and The Villains of Valley View. Now, don't tell me you gotta pick the Really Loud House.
I will say, it would be a victory for Loud House fans if the Really Loud House did win this. I have my major gripes with the Really Loud House, especially when it comes to the writing. But I will say that the stunt coordination is something that I will say they really did. Actually, it's one of the better parts of that live action show.
So are you going to go for the Really Loud House?
I'm going for Really Loud House, yeah.
Oh, so you are one of those that actually want to go for the Really Loud House.
Yeah, because like I said before, when it comes to the stunt coordination, the production design, when it comes to the aesthetics in general, that's where they really get it down. It's just that the writing and the story of the Really Loud House is where they really fall flat.
Now, I'm going to say this, though. I'm not going to pick them to win. All right. Look. As much as I am a big Loud House fan, there are a lot of other candidates that are better. Villains of Valley View, if you actually watch that show, it turns out to actually do well when it comes to stunts and stuff like that. They're fighting and things like that. They're superheroes or supervillains in a town. But I also want to give out the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy was actually nominated. It's a short, but it's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's Marvel Studios. It's it's Mantis. It's Mantis and what's the guy's name again?
Drax.
Yeah, it's
Mantis and Drax.
Mantis and Drax that are literally just trying to have fun with Kevin Bacon. Okay, so
let me just say, they gave Star-Lord one hell of a gift, because Who wouldn't want Kevin Bacon as a Christmas gift? Am I right?
Exactly. So my choice is Guardians of the Galaxy.
I can see why. I can see why, because that came as a close second to me.
Yeah. All right. So let's move up. Let's move up here a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about puppet design and styling. Now, this is just pretty much the puppets that are in kind of variety shows here. We got Donkey Hoodie. I don't know what that is, but it's from PBS Kids. Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, Night of the Lights from Apple TV Plus. Helpsters from Apple TV Plus. I don't know what that is. The Muppets Mayhem, Disney Plus, and Sesame Street. Oh boy.
Yeah.
What are your choices on that one?
That's pretty much head to head, and I would say that I'm gonna go with Sesame Street because let's be honest, as much as Muppets Mayhem, they do nail the puppeteering in that. Sesame Street, it still remains the king of puppeteering. Like, it's been remained the king of puppeteering for decades. They mastered it for decades. Okay. But Muppets Mayhem does come close. I will say.
I feel so bad for Muppets Mayhem, considering Muppets Mayhem is not going to have a second season.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's very unfortunate to hear that Muppets Mayhem will be getting a second season.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you can't beat the OG Sesame Street. They've been going on for like over 30 years of puppetry and things like that nature. So Sesame Street is probably gonna win it.
They've been going since the 1960s.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the same thing and say Sesame Street.
Like Muppets Mayhem, I have nothing against Muppets Mayhem. I love Muppets Mayhem, but you can't beat OG Sesame Street.
All right, next up. Casting for an animated program. Now, this is one category that we've been talking about recently. Now, we have five animated shows that have piqued our interest for this nomination. First off, Big City Greens from Disney Channel. Yes. Eureka from Disney Junior. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur from Disney Channel. The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder from Disney Plus, and Spirit Rangers from Netflix. Oh boy, we have a lot of good ones in this one. But Omid, what is your pick for casting for an animated program?
You're probably going to be surprised to hear me say it. You really are. Because as much as I love a certain show, the other show just has, better casting, in my opinion. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Really? Oh, I'm surprised it did. I thought you were going to... I was literally putting down Big City Greens because you're just going to put that down, are you?
Well, here's the thing. Like, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur has a iconic star cast, plus the fact that they have Lawrence Fishburne, and Lawrence Fishburne... was a plus for me. Like, he really did help contribute to what made not only the casting of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur so iconic, but also the show itself.
I'm going to be this is actually a huge topsy-turvy all of a sudden.
Whoa. Because
I have to say Big City Greens because look at all the celebrities that they brought up. You had Danny DeVito, you had Danny Trejo, who's Vasquez, you had Jenna Ortega, who was pretty much Gabrielle until she became Wednesday. So the casting has been quite perfect for Big City.
Yeah, I will say, like, when you look at the special guests, I do see how Big City Greens will use that as their upper hand.
And note the fact that they have the Hooten brothers that were also in the show. They also did have, you also do get to see Anaconda, who's Gloria. You get to see, just everybody that was there. They had perfect casting, I have to say. Casting, no doubt, was perfect for Big City, so I got to give it out to Big City Greens on that one. This is huge topsy-turvy because I would be the one to say Moon Girl, and you would have to say Big City.
Yeah, it's like you never expected to, You never expected to have this sort of twist, but yeah, that's pretty much our picks. Like, hey, did you switch parts or something? No, we didn't switch parts.
No, we didn't switch parts at all. Sound mixing and sound editing for an animated program. Now, five nominees are in this one. Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons from Warner Brothers. I Am Groot from Disney Plus. Kung Fu Panda the Dragon Knight from Netflix. Rise of the TMNT from Nickelodeon. And Star Trek Prodigy from Nickelodeon. So, out of that five, what pops out to you?
I haven't seen any of them, but I will say, like, as a DC fan, I have to say I do hope that Batman and Superman do get the win.
Oh, really? And Superman. Okay.
Maybe it's just because, like, out of all these properties, like, the one I'm a fan of the most is, DC. I do love Kung Fu Panda, though. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie trilogy, but,
Are we going all topsy-turvy again? Because I'm actually picking Marvel. I'm saying I Am Groot.
I'm Groot.
Look, I mean, they had 2 seasons of these shorts. They look pretty cute, and I mean, for sound mixing and sound editing, because the fact is that it's not even like vocal. The only vocal thing you'll hear is I Am Groot.
Yeah.
And then everything else in the background, when it comes to the background noise and the mixing of that, making sure that it all sounds great for a one short. I mean,
Actually, I have seen I Am Groot, and while they were cute, they were just that shorts.
editing for an animated program. Now, this one is going to be pretty interesting here. The nominees are Baymax for Disney Plus, Cars on the Road for Disney Plus, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur for Disney Channel, My Dad the Bounty Hunter on Netflix, Reindeer is Here on CBS, The Wonderful Summer of Mickey Mouse, and Zootopia Plus. That's a lot of Disney categories.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of Disney there.
Disney getting the dubs for the nominations right there.
All right, so what's your pick for editing in an animated program?
Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur.
Okay, so Moon Girl for you.
Because when you look at the way they are edited, especially the fights and everything, like everything just, edits, very well. Like, it has a distinct editing.
Yeah, I have no choice here. I gotta say Moon Girl. Moon Girl is just an absolutely amazing show. So
yes,
this is my first pick for Moon Girl on this one. So yes, Moon Girl.
Second for me.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. We talked about main title. So let's look at the nominees here. We have 6 nominees. First off is Kif from Disney Channel, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur from Disney Channel, Mysterious Benedict Society from Disney Plus, National Treasure, Edge of History from Disney Plus, Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures from Disney Plus, and Super Kitties from Disney. Oh, they're all Disney.
Disney keeps getting those nominations. Like this is the Disney Emmys. Like this is the Disney Emmys.
Okay, so that's a tough one. I mean, your pick for main title.
Out of all these titles, the only 2 that I have seen are Kif and Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. My pick is the latter, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, because when you look at the main title, it has a funky hip hop vibe to it. But not just the song, but also like the animation style, really does scream out, you gotta watch this. This is awesome and all that stuff. So yeah, Moon Girl.
Okay, I haven't watched the rest of the shows. All I remember watching is Kif and Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. And I love Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur's theme song.
Yes.
It's amazing. Moon Girl magic, yes. Versus a Kif theme song where she literally says Kif, 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 Kif.
Yeah, very engaging lyrics. Very well written lyrics.
So yes, main title definitely goes for Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur for sure.
We agree on Moon Girl once again. Nice.
Yes. Original song. Do you care about these ones or not?
Yes. Give it to Roll the Dice from the Cuphead show.
Why? Just because it's Cuphead?
No, and also when you listen to the song itself, especially with Wayne Brady singing it as King Dice, my God, it is just popping. It is just funky. It is just so catchy to listen to. You gotta roll the dice.
Wayne Brady definitely does have a hit song on that one, but I'm gonna pick You Never Know from High School Musical on that one.
Okay, well,
I don't know much on Cuphead. I know you play the game and you watch the series, so
yes.
Yeah, so kind of the whole favoritism is right there for you.
You could argue I have a bias, but then again, not really. Like, I don't know, you'll up to yourselves. But yeah, I do see how You Never Know can win because, that series has some amazing songs itself. It's a given it's a musical series, but I could see how that would be a huge threat.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely indeed. But again, this is definitely a toss-up. I don't know what will happen, but we'll see.
Cuphead show.
Preschool program. Ooh, that's a good one. Music direction and composition for an animated program. You have Animaniacs, Kung Fu Panda Dragon Knight, Looney Tunes cartoons, Star Wars Young Jedi, and Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up. I don't know what, but we're getting classic cartoons out of all of a sudden.
Yes.
Animaniacs, Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry. Your pick on this one, Omid.
As much as I do love the Looney Tunes, you can't deny that with its iconic theme, it's time for Animaniacs, as well as its musical numbers. Like, I love the Looney Tunes, they're the OGs, but I have to say Animaniacs is my go-to.
Animaniacs for you. Okay. Now for me. Ooh, this is a tough one. I love the Animaniacs as well. The remake, no doubt, was awesome to watch. But I gotta go Looney Tunes cartoons. Gotta get back to the old classic Looney Tunes, man.
Yeah, like I said before, it could go that direction. It could go to Animaniacs. We'll just have to see.
Indeed, yeah. So, I mean, this is actually getting fun. All the animated stuff that we're looking at is like, oh god, hope they win and all.
This is the most fun I've had in an animation podcast, I'm not gonna lie, because of this.
Now, this was gonna be a really tough one, y'all. All right, voice directing in an animated series. Now, there are 3 shows that are going to be toss-ups for us. Ooh. First off, Ada Twist, Scientist, Netflix. The Ghost and Molly Mcgee, Disney Channel. Kif, Disney Channel. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, Disney Channel. And Spirit Rangers from Netflix. Now, 3 of those are Disney Channel, and these are shows that we are absolutely obsessed with. But one of them has to win. Omid, your pick on voice directing.
Okay, as much as I really want to, really want to, give it to Ghost and Molly Mcgee because I've already said Moon Girl twice or 3 times already. I'm sorry, Malls, but you had stellar voice directing, but I'm gonna say Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, because like if you hear the voices, I feel that they blend, the best with the story and the action, especially. And then, of course, whoever does the voice of Dinosaur really does nail that voice of Devil Dinosaur. He sounds like a legit dino.
Fred Tatasciore is well known in animation, by the way. So, yeah, they actually did an amazing job when it comes to Fred Tatasciore, having him become Devil Dinosaur. So, props out to the Moon Girls, the Moon Girl casting for sure. And yeah, no doubt about it. I actually will have to say, man, it's tough because Ghost and Molly Mcgee is also good too. I'm not gonna lie, Ghost and Molly Mcgee is good too.
Decisions.
I know. It's tough. It's tough for me to actually pick between Molly Mcgee and Moon Girl, but I'm like,
It's like choosing between your kids.
What?
It's like choosing between your kids. Do you go Moon Girl or Ghost Girl? Moon Girl or Ghost Girl?
Oh man. Do I want a smart girl or an happified girl? Damn, this is tough. Or a squirrel.
Would you rather have a girl who is emotionally the best or mentally the best?
You know what though?
Like intelligent wise or happy wise?
I want to make this interesting. If this is going to be the final season of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, I want to at least give it out with an Emmy, okay? So this is the only category that the Ghost and Molly Mcgee is nominated, so I'm gonna pick Ghost and Molly Mcgee. All right. This is a huge underdog story, but I know Moon Girl is possibly gonna win it, but I gotta give props to Ghost Molly Mcgee. Come on now.
That is fair enough because with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, it's still gonna go on. It's still confirmed to be going alive, for more seasons. With Ghost and Molly Mcgee, it may be at its near end. So this might be like the only time they get nominated. So I do see why you would go with that.
Right. All right. So next up, directing for an animated program. There's Baymax on Disney Plus, Cuphead show for Netflix, Kung Fu Panda: The Dragon Knight, Oni, Thunder, God's Tale, and Zootopia Plus. Oh, come on, are you going to really pick Cuphead show on this one?
Welcome to the Cuphead show. Welcome to the Cuphead show. Yes, Cuphead show. I love Baymax. I love Zootopia. I love Big Services. I love Zootopia. But come on, Cuphead. I just straight up adore. Give it to Cuphead.
All right. So, Omid is picking the Cuphead show. I'm really stuck between Baymax and Zootopia Plus. Baymax was actually pretty cute with all the shorts that Baymax is into because he's pretty much the helpful, accomplice there. But Zootopia is also fun with their shorts, but it's not even featuring the main cast. That means it's just shorts in Zootopia itself. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm going to go with Baymax. So that's my choice for that one.
That is fair. That is fair because Baymax did have its strong episodes too. There was even one where it dealt with, it dealt with one girl getting a period.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
And that one really stood out to me. Like they tackled such a strong subject like this. I'm glad they did.
All right.
So props to that.
Now, next up, we do have writing for an animated children or young teens program. Now, the nominees are Baymax, Baymax from Disney Plus, Craig of the Creek from Cartoon Network, Karma's World from Netflix, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur from Disney Channel, and My Dad the Bounty Hunter on Netflix. Mead, don't tell me you're going to be picking Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur because of this.
Are you a mind reader, Nate?
Really? No,
are you a mind reader?
Can we change it up a bit? Can't just be all Moon Girl,
It wasn't all Moon Girl for me. Remember that one time, you picked Big Secrets? No. Oh, no, never mind.
You picked Moon Girl.
I picked Moon Girl from that. Right. Never mind. What am I saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, can you really blame me, though? Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur pretty much excels in almost every, aspect. And writing is no exception because of how strong the stories were for each episode that I have seen. And also the messages they present are really well taught as well. So Baymax, I love Baymax as well, especially the period episode, but Moon Girl has the upper hand for me.
For me, I got to go with Craig of the Creek. I'm actually going to go for the underdog here and actually say Craig of the Creek could possibly win the writing for animated children young teens program, and I understand that it also did end recently. So for it to end with an Emmy would be pretty epic. So yes, I will say Craig of the Creek.
It would be quite a victory for Cartoon Network, and especially for Craig of the Creek, because since it's ending, you want to end with a bang.
Exactly. So that's why.
So I do see the significance of Craig of the Creek.
I know I haven't seen much of Craig of the Creek, but I heard it was also pretty wholesome, like all the adventures that Craig and his friends have been going through. So, yes, I will give my vote out for Craig of the Creek on this one. All right, how about this one? Voice performance in a children's or young teen program.
Come on. We all know who this is obviously going to go to. We obviously know who this is going to go to. Sorry, Lawrence Fishburne, I have to say this. It's Tom Kenny from SpongeBob. It's 100% going to go to Tom Kenny from SpongeBob.
There's so many legendary voice actors. Let me go through the categories. I'm going to go through the nominees, actually. Bob Burgeon, Porky Pig from Looney Tunes cartoons. Jack Black as Poe from Kung Fu Panda. We know him as Poe. Lawrence Fishburne as Beyonder from Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, which is an amazing villain, by the way. Tom Kenny from SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, man. And Rob Paulsen. Rob Paulsen! You know Rob Paulsen. He's such a legendary voice actor.
Look, I love Rob Paulsen. You know, I love his work, but, you know, the thing with SpongeBob is that with almost every category, I remember one time Tom Kenny as SpongeBob won, best voice acting, even like over Paige Brewster. Damn it, I love Del Tuck. And also the voice actress of Tilly. I was hoping that either those two win, but it ended up going to Tom Kenny as SpongeBob. The thing is with, award season.
It might actually like beat out Tom Kenny. I mean, look at the other people that were in this. Lawrence Fishburne, he's an actor, and he's did a great voice for Beyonder. Paul Paulsen, he's a legend. He's done a lot of voice acting especially for Animaniacs as Yakko, you know?
Yeah, but like, for every, not for every Emmy award, but for just like, most awards that I've seen, it would always go to, SpongeBob and all that stuff, because, well, Tom Kenny as SpongeBob's been going on for years and years. And I feel like Emmys, like this particular Emmy is going to have some sort of like bias towards SpongeBob because SpongeBob's been running for years.
I know, but come on.
I don't want it to win. Don't get me wrong. I don't want Tom Kenny as SpongeBob to win. I respect Tom Kenny. I want Rob Paulsen or Lawrence Fishburne to win instead. But we're talking about who we think we're going to win. We're talking about who we bet we're going to win. And honestly, I feel Tom Kenny's SpongeBob has a much higher chance because of like the name, the household name, and the character name.
I don't want to pick Tom Kenny, though. That's the thing. But I have a chance it will win just because Tom Kenny's a legend. And I'm like, come on. He's known for other voices, too. I mean, he's in KIF. He's in KIF, okay? And in Adventure Time. Come on. There is so many voice acting for Tom Kenny besides SpongeBob.
You're right. Mayor from Powerpuff Girls.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, he's a legend himself. Rob Paulsen also is a legend himself, being Yakko. But Jack Black is also amazing. He did voice Bowser in the recent Super Mario Brothers movie. Okay, come on. I'm like,
look, all of them are legendary. All of them are legendary. But I'm talking about like which voice actor Emmy will favor the most.
Yeah, I know it's gonna favor Tom Kenny, but I want to really pick underdogs here. So that's why I'm really thinking it's a toss up between Lawrence Fishburne, Rob Paulsen, and Jack Black. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, out of the three of them, if I were you, I would have picked Rob Paulsen.
Yeah. But it'll be funny if Jack Black did win the Emmy, and then there's his speech would be like, "Yeah, I love the take off, yeah, rock and roll, yeah."
And you're like, "Let's celebrate with some peaches."
Oh no,
we're having a peach party. Let's go.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go pick Rob Paulsen for this. Okay, but out of all places, I do really hope that Jack Black ends up winning too.
I hope anything but my pick wins.
but you picked it. I don't know why. You could just go for something else.
It's who I think has the highest chance of winning. But
I know, but still.
I respect Tom Kenny, but I feel he's already won enough.
He's already won enough, so why would you pick him? You said you picked enough. Oh my god. I don't understand your logic sometimes. Okay, how about animated special? Because we had some good ones here. Looney Tunes cartoons with the Bugs Bunny Halloween Spectacular, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, the first episode, Moon Girl Landing, Reindeer is Here from CBS, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a movie from Netflix, Snoopy Presents Lucy's School, and The Wonderful Summer of Mickey Mouse. You know what's funny, though? You put Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie on Netflix for the animated special. Where's the Loud House movie, guys?
If you put the Loud House movie, that would have been an easy pick for me.
Yes, but we already know who's going to win that one.
Yeah, I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be a first because this is honestly the first time that I'm not going to pick something other than a obvious show. I'm going to say Looney Tunes cartoons.
Oh, what? Not Moon Girl? Wait. Did you watch that at least?
I haven't seen it at least, but what... I plan to soon, of course. Don't worry about it. But I think the reason why I say it is because, you know, with Looney Tunes, they've been running for years, and their newest show, like the newest reboot, Looney Tunes cartoons, really does stand out as a fresh take on these characters. And I feel that, like, based on the household name, like Looney Tunes, combined with the fact that it's Halloween themed, I feel like Looney Tunes cartoons has the best chance.
You know what? It's fair to hear from your point there, because like Looney Tunes cartoons does have like their amazing specials too, even though it's like, you know, some part to their series and stuff. But yeah, you know, it's interesting. But I gotta go Moon Girl. I'm sorry. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. That's the first episode. That is the absolute first episode of the show. And it introduced Lunella, Devil Dinosaur, and what was it, Casey Calderon as like the trio that's going to be the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur cast. And it was just amazing to see how they all ended up together. Because like, it's just Lunella doing her studies. It's Dinosaur that came out of nowhere. And then Casey just being a random person, just an influencer around.
I do see that. I do see, like, you know, what makes that particular episode so strong, up to a point where it's a strong contender. But yeah, needless to say, yeah, this is honestly the first time I picked something other than Moon Girl.
Okay,
aren't you surprised?
I'm sure. I'm pretty surprised. I thought you would go for Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, but no. I guess we're going different here. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now we go to the final category that we're going to be talking about tonight. It is called what is it? The Children's or Young Teen Animated Series. Pretty much the best cartoon of 2023. Their nominees are Baymax from Disney Plus, Big City Greens from Disney Channel, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur from Disney Channel, Oni Thunder God's Tale from Netflix, and Zootopia Plus from Disney Plus. Omid, you have a big decision to make when it comes to all of these, because most of them are Disney, and they're all great series, to be fair. But Omid, what is your decision for children and young teen animated series?
Now, no doubt in my mind, you know, all these are stellar Disney shows, like, you know, as you see here. Oh, and that one Netflix show that's competing with, like, 4 Disney shows. Yeah, good luck with that, Netflix. So, yeah, it is pretty tough to put them all in a pit. But, you know, based on my personal taste and based on, you know, which show I favor the most personally, I just have 2 words for you. I have 2 particular words for you. Bingo Bango.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's weird because Big City Greens, 4 seasons longer than any like Disney Channel show recently. Amphibia didn't hit season 3. Amphibia didn't hit season 4. Owl House didn't hit season 4. So, if anything, this is the longest Disney Channel show that has been going on so far, and it's been wholesome. It's been great ever since. So I understand your point about it.
Well, yeah, because Big City Greens holds a special place in my heart out of all of these. You know, it's my second favorite Disney show behind Gravity Falls, and also, you know, the stories are slice of life, relatable. The characters are all amazing, have depths to them, and you know, it's such a wholesome, you know, a wholesome show about a country family.
So that's your pick for best animated series, I would say. There's
Yes.
There's a lot of animated series that are out there too, but they are particular when it comes to children and young teens. Whew, man. I mean, Baymax undoubtedly was wholesome, just to see Baymax pretty much go around San Francisco, just helping the residents out. Zootopia was fun, seeing shorts of like what Zootopia animals are like, you know. Big City Greens undoubtedly is a wholesome show itself. Having the Greens go to the country, go back home and all. Man, I mean, okay. But Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, I've said this before, it is comparable to Spider-Verse, okay? Like, the animation looks so comic book-like Spider-Verse. It isn't obviously as great as Spider-Verse, but Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur definitely has that story where you get to see, like Moon Girl, Lunella going through like all these everyday cases and through all those villains and things like that. Devil Dinosaur, obviously is a big, amazing companion. And then Casey Calderon out of nowhere absolutely is just a random person because she's not in the comics at all. She just becomes an influencer for the show, and it turns out to really work out well for her. Okay, so Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur undoubtedly blew my mind when I watched it all year long, and I loved the show ever since. I can't wait for season 2 to come out next year. So Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur is my vote, and I hope it wins. And I really hope it wins. But the other Disney Plus series are also really good too. So to say the least, it is a toss-up. I'm not gonna lie, it is going to be a toss-up for this particular category. But I mean, my hope, fingers crossed, is gonna be Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have love for Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur too. Obviously, if you couldn't tell by my previous picks. But yeah, like, for many reasons and more, Big City Greens is the one that I, just love wholeheartedly. It holds a place in my heart, like I said. I'm rooting for it to win.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all the things that we kind of do want to talk to you guys about, considering that some of the shows that we have been discussing here at the Anination podcast are currently nominated over in the Children's and Family Emmys. So we're going to be doing the rest of the categories post-show, so you guys will be able to see this, unfortunately. But I do want to let you guys know that the show, for those who are watching on Twitch, the show is going to happen on Saturday, December
16th.
Oh, 16. Oh, sorry, it's in 2 weeks. Sorry about that. I thought it was this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's in 2 weeks, but I could definitely look it up.
No. I think you're right. So yeah. For those who are watching currently on YouTube and on Twitch, the Emmys, the Children and Family Emmys, are going to be airing on Saturday, December 16th. This is going to be exclusively on the Emmys website, so go to Emmys.tv in order for you to watch it yourself. But we already made our picks for the categories that we care more. To say the least, I'm gonna have that beer ready for in 2 weeks later. So I'm just letting you know, like, once the awards come out and we know who won the most, it's gonna be like a perfect, like, pre-Christmas gift for you.
Yeah, we're gonna see who drinks. We're gonna see who drinks,
but we'll see how it is. It's gonna be a fun one for sure. But yeah, the Children and Family Emmys. That is a long thing to say. I know it's not the same as daytime or primetime Emmys. Okay,
I mean, we might as well just call it Kids Emmys. Emmys.
Yeah, Kids Emmys or the Children and Family Emmys. Like I said, going to be coming out December 16th, so make sure you put your calendar on that. And then also check out the nominees that will end up winning during that day as well. So yes, it's definitely going to be a fun one.
Yeah, so don't forget to stick around for that.
For sure. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for our podcast episode. This was actually pretty fun, talking about Ghost and Molly Mcgee. Of course, the Emmys, because we're being very competitive about who we're going to pick and all.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like I said before, this is the most fun that I had in terms of the Anination podcast, because it's us competing with each other, presenting our picks.
We have more Emmys to go through, right? We have more award shows to go through, right? We have the Oscars, we have the Anime Awards.
The Crunchyroll Anime Awards, that's right. We're gonna get to that too.
Oh my god. We're going to talk about the controversy between the Crunchyroll Anime Awards too.
Ooh. Yeah, get ready, because it's going to be a hot, spicy controversy.
Yeah, it's not really much of a controversy. It's more towards like, the fans love this, but the people voted this. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty much, debates among the fans and the people.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this back in other podcasts that I'm in for the, the CaliCon blogcast. We always keep on saying the awards, the award show for Crunchyroll is always like pretty crappy, so they always favor like the favorite ones, like Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, etc. So that's why I'm just like saying it out there. But like I said, when the time comes that the anime awards come out, we're going to be obviously being coverage of that as well. But until then, that's it for our episode. Thank you very much for checking out the episode here in the Anination podcast. Make sure that you follow us on Twitch so you'll be able to be notified when we'll be on Twitch. And make sure you also subscribe on YouTube, and also also hit the bell so that you'll be notified when we'll be on, or when a new video will be on YouTube. Also check out our social media sites, Twitter X, Instagram, Mastodon, and Threads. Yeah, there's that. And then also check out our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/AnimationPod and subscribe to our Patreon so you'll be able to get some exclusive items there. And yeah, that's all I can say about our promotion stuff.
Yeah, so let's just say that, it's definitely been a wild ride. You know, like talks about episodes of Molly McGee, a look at a brand new miniseries that has potential to be one of the strongest, and then of course a huge debate on, you know, which shows are going to win, which is best show, and all that. Let's just say that it's been a really fun ride tonight.
But until then, that's pretty much it for us here. Thank you very much for checking out the episode. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye,
guys.
Have a good night, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening.